In the world of tax lien investing, you can potentially earn anywhere from 18 to 36% interest on your money. I mean, when you compare that to a traditional savings account or even your average stock market returns, it is absolutely staggering. Right? This is an alternative way to put your capital to work in real estate that most people completely miss out on, mostly just because they don't understand the mechanics behind it.
But wait, those incredible interest rates are really only half the story. The second massive benefit here from our source is the potential to acquire properties at 80 to 95% below market value. Yeah, you heard that right. Instead of fighting it out in the traditional real estate market, where everyone's paying full retail price, getting into tax lien and tax deed investing actually positions you to acquire real assets for a fraction of their standard cost.
So to make this super simple, we've structured this explainer into 5 key phases: the setup, the logistics, the rules, a secret weapon strategy, and finally, gauging the competition.
Let's start with phase 1, the setup, and how to actually get started today. Listen, you do not need to wander endlessly around some clunky, outdated government website. Step 1, just Google the name of your target county's tax assessor office and find their phone number. Step 2, pick up the phone. Step 3, call them and get the answers straight from the horse's mouth. I know, it's a totally old-school tactic, but actually talking to a real human being at the county level is going to save you hours of frustrating online research.
Moving right along to phase 2, the logistics. Here is exactly what you need to ask them.
Have your pen ready the second they pick up. First, you want to ask for the date, location, and start time of the upcoming tax lien sale. Next, verify the exact interest rates they're offering. Then figure out how they advertise the sale. Is it in a local newspaper, maybe a PDF on their website? Ask to be put on their physical mailing list too. And crucially, really importantly here, you need to ask what their specific redemption period is. This can vary wildly from state to state, and it dictates exactly how long a property owner has to pay you back before you can take any further action.
Now, while you're gathering all this info, keep this dynamic in mind. A lot of the larger counties have moved their auctions completely online. And hey, that's cool because it means someone sitting in Australia can technically buy tax liens in Idaho or Iowa virtually. But that worldwide access means high competition. On the flip side, smaller counties often still rely on those old-school mailers and in-person processes. Less accessibility means fewer investors, and that directly translates to less competition and much higher profit margins for you.
All right, phase 3, the rules for bidding and payment. While you've still got that assessor on the phone, rapid fire these questions. Do I register the day of the sale, or do I have to pre-register weeks in advance? What documents do I bring? Crucially, how do you accept payment? And if it's a check, who exactly do I make it out to? And you also need to ask about their specific bidding style. Seriously, don't just assume it's going to be some open back-and-forth auction. In some tax lien sales, you are only allowed to put in one single blind bid, and that's it. Every single county is different, which keeps the business uncrowded and incredibly profitable for the people who actually bother to ask.
Oh, and before you hang up, ask if they can provide a list of their property codes. Often, a county's lien list is literally just a massive spreadsheet of 10-digit codes that you've got to learn how to decipher. Because this process takes a little bit of actual effort and isn't just some shiny automated system, it naturally filters out the casual crowd. That lack of an easy, standardized process is exactly what makes this niche such a goldmine.
Next up, phase 4, the secret weapon, over-the-counter investing.
You absolutely need to ask the assessor this exact question. What happens to the tax liens that do not sell at the auction? It sounds like a simple question, but the answer unlocks a completely different way to invest.
Now, what's really interesting about this is it lets you bypass the whole auction completely. When liens don't sell, many places turn them into what's called over-the-counter tax lien certificates. You can walk in or go online and buy these literally right now. You immediately start earning that full interest rate. And even better, you might stumble across certificates that have been sitting there for years. If you buy those, you might be able to start the foreclosure process within just a few short months, radically speeding up your timeline.
And that brings us to our final phase, phase 5, gauging the competition through post-auction metrics.
Okay, so what if the property doesn't redeem? What does the county's foreclosure process actually look like? Securing the asset is obviously the end goal, but you've got to adopt a major buyer beware mindset here. Why? Because sometimes the county actually can't legally sell a house with a perfectly clear title. These tax liens aren't always traditional legal sales in that sense, even though the county is doing it. You might be wondering, what about people that lose the properties after the original owner comes a knocking? Well, it is a real thing. If an original owner realizes what happened and sues, you could lose that property entirely. I've seen it happen. So you absolutely have to factor title risks into your research.
To guarantee you're actually in the right place, ask for last year's metrics. Look, if a county had 30 tax liens available last year, but 50 people showed up, you're probably going to get outbid. You want to find the auctions where they had, say, 200 to 500 liens available, and only 20 people bothered to show up. That inventory to attendee ratio from the previous year, that is the ultimate performance indicator for your success. Find those low competition environments and you will thrive.
I really love this quote right here from our source material. Whenever you start talking about tax liens, especially the over-the-counter ones, you'll always find people complaining that unsold liens are just junk. And sure, some of it is. But for the 10% of people willing to use a little elbow grease, actually make the phone calls, decipher those 10-digit codes, and do the real research, there are incredible deals waiting for them. While everyone else passes on the opportunity, the action takers are quietly building massive portfolios.
Now, if you want to shorten the learning curve, our source material highlights some great resources, like the ABCs of Taxing and Deed Investing book, which walks you through this step by step. They point out that having structured guidance like that can save you literally years of painful trial and error. The tools are out there to help you analyze these deals efficiently and, most importantly, safely.
So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative question today. You've got the structured playbook now. You know exactly what to ask, you understand the mind-blowing interest rates, and you know how to navigate the risks to find those high-reward, low-competition deals. The only question left is, are you going to be the one making excuses in the comments or the one picking up the phone and calling a county assessor today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see you apply this knowledge.